the use of logical functions. Okay, I'm going to take this very carefully. Whatever it is that you don't understand, let me know. Okay, now logical functions. You should be, at least everyone here would have passed through secondary school or at one point in a time tertiary institution as well. Okay, now the thing is, at one point in time in secondary school or in your tertiary institution, you would have worked with logics, okay, say in mathematics. And what it basically does is to look at conditional statements. Okay, so you are looking at conditional statements. Now, logical functions in Excel are simply functions that help you to test conditions. All right, they help you to test conditions. Now, they are very dependent on two factors. Two factors. It's either they are true or they are false. Those are the two factors. All right. So whenever you're testing a condition, your result is usually either true or false. The outcome of that condition is either true or false. All right. So let me cite a quick example. If I say Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, is that true or false? All right, beautiful. True. True. Very good. True. So Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. Now, in that statement, what was I testing? I was trying to check if you know that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. So my testing condition is that Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world, or Mount Everest equal tallest mountain in the world. Okay, a more relatable approach. Let's look at this. Now, if I say, let me zoom in a bit. If I say the value in cell B2, the value in cell B2 is greater than 50,000. True or false? The value in cell B2 is greater than 50,000. True or false? False. What of if I say the value in cell C2, the value in cell C2 is less than 300,000. The value in cell C2 is less than 300,000. That's a true condition. That's a true statement, isn't it? Beautiful. Now, you'd see that when I'm asking you this question, what you are replying me with is either true or false. All right. You are replying me with either true or false. Now, let's go ahead and insert some columns here. Just insert like 2 or 3 columns in here. Okay, I want to make use of this space to demonstrate some things. Okay. Now, all right. Now let's take it a step further. While when I look at it, I can easily know that, oh, the value in this cell is greater than or less than a value. Okay, just me looking at it, I can see that, oh, the value in cell C2 is actually less than 300,000. Okay, but is it less than 200,000? No, it's not less than 200,000. Now, what if I wanted to create a condition quickly? Okay, so now if you look at this, I want to test a simple condition. Okay, I want to check if the value in cell C2 is actually less than 200,000. This time around, I'm using 200,000. Is the value in cell C2 less than 200,000? That is false. Okay, but how do I demonstrate that using Excel? I can simply use a direct formula by saying this value less than 200,000. So that is me asking Excel, that is the value in this cell less than 200,000. Now, how do I input it? First thing first, whenever you're working with functions or formulas, I've stated this before, you need to always start with an equal to sign. All right. Whenever you're working with functions or formulas, you start with an equal to sign. All right. So you start with an equal to sign. So I'm going to put in here equal to. Now, equal to what? So I want to check if the value in a cell is less than a number. So what I'll simply do is this value, I'll click on the value. Less than, you can see my less than sign. I type it from my keyboard, and then I want to check if it's less than what number? 200,000. Don't put comma or anything. Okay, so is it less than 200,000? This is how I test a simple condition, a very simple condition. Okay, the value in cell C2 less than 200,000. So Excel will look at it and decide whether it is true or false. So when I press enter, you can see what it gives me. All right, so I know that it is false. So if I come here and I come to this small green box at the bottom right corner of the cell, if I double click, it will replicate that formula all the way down, so that in the next cell, the formula is now C3. It's looking at C3, but it's looking at the same value. Is it less than 200,000? So you will see that where I have false is where the values are not less than 200,000. Do you see that? So this is a very simple way of checking. All right, checking a condition, very simple and direct. Now, in some certain instances, you might want to test more than one condition at a time. Okay, and what do I mean? You want the output, your results, okay, to be dependent on two conditions. So I don't want to just know whether the income is less than 200,000. Okay, so now back to this place. Now, I want to use a function or a formula, sorry, a function now to test condition. Now, like as I was saying, you might want the output of your condition, okay, or you might want your output to be dependent on two or more conditions. Say, for instance, now, I don't want to just know if the income is less than 200,000. Okay, let's say I want to know if the side hustle is greater than 100,000 and the income is also greater than 100,000. Okay, now there are two types of conjoining statements. Two types of conjoining statement or conjunctions that you make use of in your logical statement. The first one is the AND function, AND, AND. All right. The second one is the OR function, OR, OR. Now, what is the difference between the AND function and the OR function? The two of them will allow you to test more than one conditions if you want. But let's look at testing just one condition using the two of them. Now, this same condition I tested to see if C2 is less than 200,000. Let's use the AND function to test it in this cell. Equal to AND, open brackets. All right. This less than 200,000. That is how you do it. Let me come again. Equal to, I'll call the AND function and then I'll open brackets. Now, what is the condition I want to test? That is what the AND function means by logical 1. You can see you have logical 1, then you have logical 2, then you have ellipses, meaning you can have more than 2 logical statements if you want as well. Okay, but I just want to test one condition here for now. And what is that condition? This value less than 200,000. And I close my brackets. When I press enter, it tells me false as well. Do you see that? Then I'll come here and I'll double click. Do you see? Okay, so you're practically having almost the same, just basically the same results here and here. What if I make use of the OR function equal to OR? Or how do you get the AND function? Type AND, A-N-D, AND, type it. You can see how the characters are coming out when I'm typing OR, or, and then you open brackets. Now, for the OR function, let's test the same condition again. Okay, I'm testing this less than 200,000. I close my brackets and press enter. It tells me false, isn't it? Because the value is not less than 200,000. I'll click here and I'll double click. So you can see I'm basically having the same thing on everything, isn't it? But now, I cannot make use of just anyone. The AND and the OR function are very useful when you are testing more than one conditions. Okay, let's go back to the AND function here. Now, equal to AND, open brackets. This time around, let's say our condition is this value less than, or no, this value greater than, let's use greater than this time around, is the value greater than 150,000. Okay, the value greater than 150,000. Comma. Now I put comma because I want to check for another condition. The second condition or the second test is this time around, let us check the side hustle. Click side hustle greater than 100,000 and I close my brackets. Do you see this? Now, what will this result give me? If I press enter, it tells me false. Isn't it? It tells me false. Now, when I come here and I double click, I have true in some certain places. Now, I would explain why you have false and true. Let me go ahead and use the OR function as well. So this is for the AND function. So here, let me make use of the OR function equal to or open bracket. And I will test the same condition. This value greater than 150,000, comma, the side hustle, this value, greater than 100,000. Close my bracket. You can see it's the same condition I tested in the OR function, I tested in the AND function. Now, for this one, if I press enter, do you see what I have now? True. I tested the same conditions, but for one, I use the AND function. For the other, I use the OR function. All right. Now, I'm going to come here and I'm going to double click so it goes down. Good. So get this over with quickly. The AND function, a very important function, and this is what it does. It looks at the conditions you are testing. All right. How many conditions are you testing first is the question. Oh, I'm testing 2. I'm testing 3. I'm testing 4. I'm testing 10. I'm testing 20 conditions. Okay. The first thing to know is that the output of a AND function or the OR function is either true or false as well. It will only return true or false. Not that it will return true, 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 or false, 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 or true, false, or false, false, true, false, or something, depending on how many conditions. No. It will look at all the conditions and decide whether I should return true or false. That's the first thing. Okay. Now, how does it look at all the conditions and decide whether to return true or false? This is what it will do. It will look at the first condition and check this condition, is it true or false? Let's say the condition is true. So I have a function called the true function. So equal to true, open and close brackets, and it will give me true in the cell. Okay, I'm doing this for a reason. Now, if the first condition returns true, all right, the first condition is actually true. Now it will check the second condition. Let's say the second condition as well is true. Ooh. Okay, I think I can even type this without putting it in. Good. So now let's say the second condition as well is true. What will the AND function return? Remember, we're testing both conditions. So if the first condition is true and the second condition is true, the AND function will take that into consideration and the output will be what? Output. Output true. Okay. I have true and true. The output will be true. Now, what if the first condition was true, but the second condition was false? What would the output be? The output this time around would be false because I am making use of the AND function. Okay. If I have the first one to be false and the second one to be true, the output will be false. If I have the first one to be false and the second one to be false, the output will be false. Now, let me explain what I have here. If your first condition, remember that in the AND function, we check for two conditions, isn't it? Now, the first one, C2 greater than 150,000. Is it true or false? It will look at it. Oh, it is true. Good. The second condition, B2 greater than 100,000. Is it true or false? False. So in my AND function, I have true, false. Now, true, false, the output will be what? Where is true, false? This is true, false. The output will be false. That is why the AND function returned false here. So a very easy way to know this is that once the AND function returns true, it means all the conditions are true or all the conditions are met. So if you want a situation where all the conditions must be met before an action is carried out or before a particular value is returned, okay, you make use of the AND function. I require all the conditions to be met. So if you require all the conditions to be met, then you make use of the AND function. So the AND function will only return true. It will only when I say return, meaning output, meaning show in the cell. It will only show in the cell true if all those conditions you are testing is true. So even if you are testing 50 conditions, if every single one of those conditions are true, then the AND function will just say, okay, yes, since everything is true, then my output is true. But if just one condition out of any number of conditions you are testing, if just one is false, the AND function just gets lazy and it returns false. It doesn't even bother itself again. It just returns false.
Endeavor to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you. See you in our next class. Bye.